Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Make It a Double Double, filming on a special bank holiday, which is a treat for everybody. And this week we're finishing off another trio. So we finished off the Sorare Ramble trio, and we're finally, after months of getting them, they're a hard bunch to nail down. We're finishing off the Sorare Thursday Club boys with Ricky, the Mamba himself. How
Hey, I'm very good, thanks. It's a privilege, and an honor to finally be invited on.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, you've had my two co-hosts on before me, so I've just been like sat by my DMs, just waiting for that
Yeah.
call up for a while now. Just I'm sure they'll get to me in a minute. I'm sure they'll get to me. So time's finally come. Yeah, it's actually thunder and lightning outside my window right now. It's a bit of an
Yeah.
ominous sign to start the
Aaron's
podcast.
Aaron's been struggling as well, hasn't you?
Yeah,
I thought it might have been the first episode without a third host because
Yeah.
like, our Wi-Fi were down for like 2 hours because the weather's that bad. So
I've
yeah.
I'm in.
I've been sweating all day. I've had my fan on. It's
Yeah.
beautiful where I am. Yeah,
Uh,
lovely.
You're not even that far from me, Ricky, are you? I'm up in Gloucester, mate.
yeah.
So it's
Bristol.
all right, yeah.
So.
It's all right, yeah.
Yeah, I like to keep my windows open so that the neighbours can hear me talking about Sorare, so I can
Nice. Try and
hopefully
spread the word. Yeah.
eventually they'll come and ask me and I can start flogging my referral code down the street. But yeah, I've had to shut it today, so that's put an end to that. So,
If
yeah.
you were, I can imagine you like shouting the referral code like
Yeah.
one character at a time,
Yeah.
which is in a throwback how I assume Tony Watt sends his ETH whenever he tries to send it anywhere. Because it's a throwback for anyone who remembers him chucking away 200 quid.
I was couldn't have happened to anyone else.
But on this fine bank holiday, Ricky, take us to the Sorare Saloon. What drinks have you offered up today?
This is the bit that really appeals to me about coming on your guys' podcast. Having to pick alcohol, right in my niche. That is, So I've gone for a margarita.
Oh, he's even got the glass and everything.
A
In
margarita.
fact, I've got three lined up.
Yeah, good. That's how this podcast
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, I didn't know how long we are going to go for, so I wanted to be prepared.
Good.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
been
that.
like a long bank holiday weekend here in England, and I've been reasonably lubricated throughout it. So I want a short, sharp cocktail
Good.
to get me through the podcast.
I love that.
And at the end of the day, who doesn't love a salty rim, right?
Absolutely.
So
I mean, that's why we became friends. I think, innit? You two.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Salty rims.
Yeah.
my actual favourite cocktail is a Long Island iced tea, but I thought that's a bit OTT for like a Monday night to get you to have like 5 different types of alcohol on a
Strong
school night.
as well.
And as a guest on a show, asking the host to go nip shops and buy 5 different bottles of spirits seems like, not the best way to get in with them. So yeah, we've gone for.
Well, you actually chucked us out quite a few options. Actually, I'll say you were one of the more generous guests. We had Mike on last week who tried to get me to buy like a Norwegian lemon non-alcoholic beer that they don't sell in England. So, what other options were actually on the table on the menu at the saloon?
Well, I did have a bottle of hooch as well. Bank holiday Monday, you can be feeling rough on a bank holiday Monday, and that is my go-to, pick me up drink when I don't really want to drink alcohol, but I've got to. So we had hooch on the list as well.
Lovely.
And in case you hadn't gone hard enough on a bank holiday, I had a snake bite on there as well. Snake bite in black, half cider, half lager, with a touch of blackcurrant in the top as well. If you wanted to finish off the bank holiday in style, so that was on there as well.
What did you go for then, boys?
Do you want to go first, Az, or shall I?
You go first, mate.
So I've gone for door number 2. So I've got the hooch.
Gone for the old hooch. Yeah.
Yeah. I was as I was telling Adam before, I've had a bit of a nightmare bank holiday weekend. My daughter come down with real bad chicken pox, unfortunately, and you can't take her anywhere. So
You've done well to get out and get a drink. To be honest, I'll
so,
salute you for that.
I had a couple of hours this afternoon, so I nipped out and managed to scoop up some hooch, which I found in Asda.
Dedication.
Respect. What about you, Az?
I'm going to need to hear the other list before I tell you what I'm drinking, if that's okay.
You've got non-alcoholic.
Oh,
You've gone the soft option.
I know that it sounds like I've let everyone down, but I have done the non-alcoholic option this week. Because if you can't tell by my raspy voice, I did a bit of an all-day bender yesterday, so I am fully on the ropes right now.
I can't believe it.
So
And I
anyone
did
listening,
choose it.
that's not the quality of your mic. That's just your voice.
That is, yeah, my voice is really gone right now. But yeah, so there's two reasons why I chose the one that was there. So I'll let you say what it was, and I'll tell you why.
Go on
Okay,
then, Ricky. Talk us through.
so my non-alcoholic options was an apple ties.
Yeah, lovely.
Like the special occasion family drink. Yeah, you
Yeah.
go around Christmas at your nan's, and she's like, "Oh, I've got the apple ties in the fridge for you."
And it's
You're like,
listen, it's
yeah,
delicious.
yeah.
It's a delicious, refreshing drink.
It's like the
That is
child
good.
version of Dom Perignon, isn't it? It's just like it's
It
beautiful.
really is. It
And
really is.
as a kid, anytime you get like a drink out of a glass bottle, it
Special.
feels like special, doesn't it? As a
Special,
kid,
correct.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
going on holiday and getting a glass bottle of Coke, and you're like,
Yeah.
Or the little
Yeah.
the little oranginas that were in the shape of oranges. Do you remember
beautiful.
those? With the
Yeah,
bits in the
yeah.
bottom. Oh, delicious. You get over that ferry and things just change, don't they?
Yeah.
And what other option did we have? Because I have
Uh,
gone for one of the other options.
Milkshake, obviously, specifically a fridge chocolate brownie option. Can't beat a bad boy fridge. Again, bank holiday feels on a Monday. Nothing like a chocolate milkshake to sort you out.
So I honestly haven't had a fridge for years. The milkshake, I have had like a working refrigerator in my house. Until last week when I cracked a tooth and my mouth was on fire, I thought I'll get a nice, like a thick milkshake, soothe the inflamed area in my mouth. So I'm gassed about the fridge. I'm very happy about the fridge.
I feel like you
Well,
can't walk into a supermarket and it's not like in your face for a
Yeah.
pound.
Well, I had to
Can't
go
miss
to
it.
two different ones, so
Yeah. I also did throw a Virgin Bloody Mary on there as well. If your hangover was really bad on a bank holiday Monday. Not that I would want tomato juice with a celery stick in it, but I gave you the option.
what did you go for,
Right.
Raz?
I did go for the milkshake,
Yeah, good lad.
and the reason being is that I have got severe heartburn right now as well. So 2 for 1. I don't mind a milkshake in any way, shape, or form.
How are you the youngest person that hosts this podcast?
I had that much Disaronno last night that I think I've just been sweating it for the rest of the day.
I
So
knew I was right to get two because look at this bad boy. Oh,
Oh,
Oh
well, I ain't even got the glass.
no, neither have I.
yeah. See,
So I
I
feel
knew
like-
someone would be feeling worse for Wednesday. I felt it that I could.
it's always Aaron. It's always Aaron,
I feel like even though
That's always me.
I feel like even
the one
though
that
we've all
feels
hit-
worse for wear.
we've
Oh,
all hit
yeah.
the brief here, right?
Yeah.
But I do feel like we're a little bit of a letdown because
Why?
Ricky, if you hold up your glass again,
Yeah, you've gone proper salted
you've gone
rim. Yeah,
full. Look at that.
yeah, you've
For
marked your
anyone,
way
for
through
anyone
the
who's
podcast.
listening on like Spotify, there is a salty rim on there. There's a piece of lime cut in.
Yeah, it looks
into a
like a good.
segment
It looks
and
like a
put on
good
top.
margarita. I
It
can't lie.
looks really
Yeah.
good.
It's tasty.
And I'm
I
drinking.
got to make the
Hooch
effort for you
Ham.
guys. I couldn't come on the show half-hearted.
I think this is the first time ever I've not had an
Yeah.
alcoholic drink. So
It is.
I
Well,
apologise.
I've been especially excited to have you on, Ricky, because you're the first man I've ever seen entirely fill a 7-a-side goal and have to duck under the bar. Whereas I can jump up and headbutt a 7-a-side crossbar, but you're a long man.
A very long man, yes. Thank you.
Is that where the Mamba nickname comes from?
Not many person, unfortunately, has called me a long man in my lifetime, but especially not my wife. But Mamba came from, I don't know why. When everyone started out on Sorare and you like come up with a Twitter name and a handle to talk about Sorare, I didn't do it when I initially got on the platform, and I got like a bit sad that I missed out. And I was like, it's too late to do it now. And then when they released basketball, I was like, I like basketball. I'm going to do this. No one will call themselves Mamba, right? No one will think of
course
Mamba
not.
as a basketball term. Like,
No.
that'll just be me. So I started the Sorare Mamba. I was just going to talk about Sorare basketball and tweet all my pickups and everything. Like when you get in your idea that's going to be great. Everyone will want to see that. The
Yeah.
£1.50 limited I've just bought. I'll tweet that. Everyone want to see that. And then I got bored of basketball after about 48 hours and just started talking about football instead. But stuck with the Mamba name.
Yeah,
there's a whale on Sorare called Mamba anyway, wasn't there? So
was
it wasn't
there?
even an original pick. No.
Well, I got into basketball the same way that I did I play football and just bought players from one team who are not a very good team, never get past the second round of the playoffs. So I didn't win a great deal, you'd be surprised to know. So fuck the 76ers, but fuck the New York Knicks even more. Now, so we know how you got into Sorare basketball, but how did you get into Sorare as a whole? Where did you find the game, and what got you into it?
I wish I had like some exotic stories to tell you that like I met a tall French man called Nicolas Julliard on a summer's day in Paris, and he like let me into his plans for global JPEG domination over a latte and a croissant. Really, it's like pretty similar to most other people you've had on the show. You know, the common entry point. I also did Football Index as well, but slightly different during COVID. Jesse, the Swiss Mafia, I think you've had him on the show already. During COVID, I was around his house, 2 meters apart and outside, obviously, but around his house. He got me into NBA Top Shot, which was like my first dalliance with NFTs. We literally just buying and opening packs and selling them for a boatload of money, which was like,
it was Top Shots is the highlights, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
There was no game to play with them. You
No.
just open a pack for like $9 after queuing for like 3 hours to get it, sell it for absolutely loads. And I was like, these are great. Let's do more of this. And then he led us into Sorare as well. Me, Jesse, and Johnny were like close friends at home. So it's like my closest friends were all doing it at the same time. So yeah, that led us on to Sorare. I love collecting things, fantasy sports games, FPL, NFL fantasy, anything like that. So I was hooked. Actually probably saved me from Football Index. So I took all my money out of Football Index to put into Sorare.
Nice.
So Sorare saved my bank account.
Good.
Not sure that still holds.
I was going to say, yeah, no one
go down now, but
no one said that for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I need to issue an apology because when we've talked about Football Index and this new fucking kicks thing, I said that when this kicks has come about, that the idea was that it was going to be more regulated. And favourite, I'd say fan favourite of the podcast, Hoodwink, dropped me a message when he was listening to the podcast. Let me see if I can find it, because whether he's in the, I think it's the Telegram chat, or he knows somebody that is, he sent me a screenshot from the chat and said, just listening to the podcast and heard you talking about the kicks regulation. Here's a screenshot from their chat. And it literally says, because we're operating internationally, we don't need any regulation whatsoever. It's allowing us to operate without regulation. So,
We're never going to get off the ground.
No, how are those criminals are still knocking about? I'm not sure, but yeah, avoid kicks at all costs.
Yes.
Now, football is coming to that time of the year where all the leagues wind down. The joy of the playoffs is abundant for those in the playoffs, and the despair of relegation is in the air for many. You are a Bristol City fan, Ricky, so haven't experienced either of those things and have fallen into mid-table mediocrity.
As always, yes, we make a habit of coming mid-table every year, so you get absolutely no excitement towards the end of the season.
Right. So this is what I was going to say. So we haven't really had that for a while. We've either been promoted from the Championship or in a relegation battle in the Premier League. Like, I think other than the year we got into Europe, we were in a relegation battle. I saw a stat that this is Crystal Palace's most successful period as a football club, but they have finished between the same amount of points. I think it's between 40 and 50 points 11 years in a row. So you always see the big club fans that are like, oh, how could you ever support a team like this? It's so boring. But for a team that for a while were a yo-yo team, for a while were financially destitute and on the way out, you must be buzzing as a fan, like especially the ones that have been through that, to then finally see your team as an established, settled Premier League side. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Championship?
Another normal season.
You're the same as me, just slightly less successful.
Yeah,
No need.
I mean, I'm
Sorry.
jealous of promotion and relegation. I'd rather go down than be, because it gets to the same period at the end of the season, the same last 6 to 8 games where you're not getting relegated, you're not
Yeah.
getting promoted, and in the championship, say you're not getting in the playoffs, and your season just peters out. At least in the relegation, you've got that panic and that fight, like, God, we need 3 points this weekend, or like the championship relegation fight this weekend was like mad. Like
Yeah.
all of them won. It was chaos.
Mental.
Like,
Apart
Well,
from one.
Not all
well,
of them.
not all of them. Who
Well.
didn't win, Aaron?
The mighty Huddersfield Town lost again. Well, it did mean that Leeds didn't get automatic, so I didn't care.
Yes. So there were silver linings to the inevitable League One title charge next season. I'm excited. Are you going to start playing Ultimate Champions so that you can get some utility out of Huddersfield?
Bollocks. I'm
No.
going nowhere near it. No. I actually did when it came out and saw that they had Huddersfield players go on and buy like all of them.
Yeah.
And then I realised because we're really shit, it meant I just didn't get anything back from it. So I just sold them all and put it back into Sorare.
Nice. How do you, like, genuinely, I know it's a stupid question because you've been relegated, but how do you feel currently about Huddersfield Town and where you're at?
It's weird. I'm not invested like a lot of football fans. Like I kind of enjoy the experience of just going to a game with my dad and getting out on a Saturday afternoon type thing. So now I'm thinking, great, next year we're not going to be sat. Well, hopefully not going to be sat in 20th and 21st all season. So I'll take a playoff charge next year and enjoy us hopefully winning more than. I don't even think we got double digit wins. I think we won 9 games all season. So I just want to see us be better than someone else for a period of time.
That would be nice. Well,
Yeah.
if it makes you feel any better, I know you said you haven't got double-digit wins. Burnley have only just got double-digit points at home this season. We've got 10 points at home. And I want to throw out a question to... We've got 3 other fans of 3 different football clubs, all at varying levels. What would you say if you had a team that had lost 1 game in 8, having lost every other game this season? What would you not do with your team, or what would you do with your team?
Keep it the same.
Oh, you'd keep it the same. Mark, would you like make any changes? Would you probably keep things the same?
Not unless I had to.
Not unless you had to. Okay, so if you had the same squad, you'd keep things the same.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Vincent Kompany, in his infinite wisdom, brought Josh Brownhill back into the team this weekend, and we lost 4-1.
I love Josh Brownhill.
He's fucking rubbish, Ricky.
I know,
He's fucking shit.
I can't help it. I love him. I've got his rare card as well, and I play him every week. Just like this will be the time. This will be the time. Like,
Listen, I have loved Josh Brownhill since he came from Bristol City. He's been a great player, great servant. His family seem nice enough. He's a vegan, which is, I mean, not great, but I don't know what it is when you see a player like actively let you down every week. Like it's so difficult to root for them, even though they were like last season. He was great. He had an unbelievable first half of the season, but like he's always the last player to track back. He jumps into a challenge with his back to the ball. I've seen him jump and try and block a shot with his back to the ball, and then people just walk. He's been hideous. And every time, if he comes off the bench, we concede. If he starts, we lose. When he got dropped, when he got sent off, we didn't lose for 8 games. The first game he came back, we lost. It was a baffling decision. I had a feeling it was going to happen. I half threw it out there on Saturday. Well,
so in summary, you don't like Josh Brownhill?
Not right now. I don't like 2023, 2024 Josh Brownhill. I like all other iterations of Josh Brownhill, but not the one from this season.
And his family, yeah, he got a nice family.
Yeah. His brother used to play for Blythe Spartans. I think he seems all right. Seems a half decent footballer. His missus made him a vegan, so I'm not that massive fan of her because his vegan superpowers have faded. But it's what it is, isn't it? At least my silver lining this week is that the hope has gone, because the hope is just as bad as being bottom of the league. We were never going to stay up. We needed Forest to get beat off Sheffield United, which was never going to happen. We needed to beat Newcastle and then Tottenham, which was never going to happen. So it's nice. The hope has gone. I can focus on winning Challenger next year with my Burnley players. We're good. We're
Because
good.
there was a
Everybody
lot of talk
wins.
about Burnley coming back, wasn't there? The last week or
Yes.
two, it's been creeping back in.
Which
Yeah.
and it's frustrating because you feel like if we'd played like that all season, it showed why I felt the way I did about where we were going to finish, that we'd be comfortably mid-table. And I still maintain if we played Muric, there's no reason that we couldn't be mid-table. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I
It's
get what you're
done.
coming from, because on my podcast, I obviously do it with Johnny, who's an Everton
Yes.
fan. So
Yeah.
I have to hear about crap football teams every week as well.
Again, the irony as a Bristol City fan is quite audacious.
Exactly. Yeah, they beat you, didn't they? And then they sort of like, they were safe. So he crossed the other way of like
Yes.
legitimately just being safe now. So I got to stop hearing about Everton for
Nice.
a brief week. But yeah.
Well, you're not going to get to stop hearing about Everton because it seems that every man and his dog have picked up an Everton stack for this weekend. Because they've seemed to be employing the tactic that I feel like we all should have done all year, and is just buy whoever is playing Sheffield United. Because I know they've got more points than like Derby and Sunderland did that year, but they are a fucking hideous football team. Truly, truly hideous. They don't have any redeeming qualities. Their fans are shit, and half of them are unlikable. Their players are shit, and half of them are unlikable. Their best player this season is a lad they recalled from a loan in League One, which is fucking embarrassing. They've got Ollie McBurney up front, who's the worst Premier League striker that's ever existed. They've got Ben Brereton Diaz, who looks like a goblin. Imagine pretending you were Chilean to be a better footballer. Like that's. He was born in Stoke. Have a day off, Diaz. Have a day off.
Adding a name on the end. Yeah. Yeah.
But then turned into Pele because Ben Brereton was dog shit. But Ben Brereton Diaz is one of the best players the Championship's ever seen.
He was probably worth more money as Ben Brereton. As soon as you put the Diaz on, it halved his value.
Well, we were apparently willing to chuck some money at Blackburn last year before he left on a free, and they preferred to let him go on a free transfer, which I appreciate. I absolutely appreciate that. Yeah, and I don't ever.
Other than that, you really like Sheffield United, yeah?
Yeah, lovely team. I will always have a soft spot for Sheffield United because we beat them in the playoff finals, so they can fuck off. It's nice.
You make it sound like they should sign Josh Brownhill.
They should sign Josh Brownhill because then, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But maybe Josh Brownhill, he'll get signed by an Everton or a Wolves or someone shit like that, and he'll do a mediocre job next season, and everybody will forget about him, and it'll be fine. It's okay.
So we're going to hear a lot about. It's got to be Dwight McNeil against Sheffield United, right? He feels like the poster boy for Sorare lately. Everyone mentions Dwight McNeil everywhere I go.
Well, this is not the place to come if you don't want to hear about Dwight McNeil, because I've got a signed photograph of Dwight McNeil in my living room. I love him. I have been a fan, like legitimate fan of Dwight McNeil since he was in our academy. And I remember pre-season, the year that we got into Europe, I said, I just bought my shirt, and I said, I'm going to have to get McNeil on the back of it, you know. He'd come off the bench against Bournemouth on our last game of the season for his debut. That's the only first-team football he played. So I've got a shirt with Dwight McNeil on the back of half a first-team performance. That's how sure of him I was. Every game that he didn't play, I was like, we need McNeil. McNeil changes this game. We brought him in at Christmas with Tom Heaton, and he turned our season around. There's pictures of him leaving Trent on his arse. He was whipping balls in with his left, cannon him in it. Oh, he's stunning. He's a beautiful footballer. I love him. Seems like a great lad. Seems like a really great lad. And I wish him nothing but the best. Does Johnny like Dwight McNeil?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay,
that's
good.
I own 2 copies of him now because he's been hammered into my brain so much. In fact, I own basically the whole Everton team because I hear about it so much that when I see him come up in an auction, I'm like, yeah, this is probably a good idea. Aren't they? They're just not crap enough that you think it's a good idea to buy them. You know, so you feel like Tarkovsky gets the clearance off the line in every single game.
Yes, but then in every other game he gives away a penalty.
Yeah, swings and
Yeah,
roundabouts. That's
swings
what you
and
want, though,
roundabouts.
isn't it? Peaks and
But
troughs.
this is it. What I will say about that Everton team, even if it's just from a Sorare perspective, they have got some players who are capable of scoring really well. Like McNeil as a forward gets a double-double every game, gets a lot of interceptions and a lot of tackles, and now he's adding the goals and assists. Imagine if they get an actual forward, he'll be the best striker on the game. Tarkovsky and Branthwaite are what should be the two England defenders going into the Euros.
That's bold.
Yeah, I just don't think there's a better centre. John Stones
It's not
maybe
bold.
John Stones might be slightly better than Tarkovsky. I don't think in the Premier League right now there is a better prospect at centre back than Jared Branthwaite. I'll throw it out there. I don't think there's an argument. Throw some names at me. Mark, don't say Jarrell Quanta, because I'm not
That's
listening
exactly
to
what I was going to say.
that. I'm not listening to that. No.
Quantz is a good player, mate.
Yeah, and Jared Branthwaite's a fantastic player. That's what I'm saying. He's stunning.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I do think he's probably the best prospect in the Premier League.
What
Yeah.
about Levi Colwill?
Oh, unbelievable player.
I think Branthwaite's a much better player. Much more well-rounded, much more complete. Better.
The
Just
only
better.
issue I've got with Levi Colwill is that he scored an own goal in playoff final against Nottingham Forest. That's the only thing I've got for him. But other than that, he's a beautiful human and a great centre half.
I think when you
I always forget that he played for Huddersfield.
He was so good that year.
when
He
you
was
think
so
about
good.
when you think about Colwill, though, he's at Chelsea, isn't he? At the moment, and he was at Brighton last season.
Yeah.
Played really, really well. Jared Branthwaite's obviously at Everton, and it just has a lot to be said about a young player playing for a team that he can keep his place. He's going to be under
Yeah.
a bit of pressure every week. He's
Well-
going to have to almost step up to the plate.
Well, you've got to
rather
think
than-
Branthwaite's been and done his time. He was at PSV last year for a full season,
Yeah.
and then he's come back into Everton and played. I don't think the plan was to play him this season. I think it's only when they've realised how fucking terrible they were that he's played.
Has
But
Colwill been injured at Chelsea, or is he?
I think he has. He's been injured for a while, hasn't he? He's come back in.
Yeah.
But then Thiago
recently.
Silva's guaranteed to be leaving now as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he'll probably, I think he could get a starting spot next year. He'll be like one of the first centre halves on the sheet.
It's one of those, isn't it? Because then they've signed Badiashile, they've signed Disasi. That Chelsea's one of those teams that I think, as a professional footballer, if you're serious about developing your career, I don't think they're the team to go to.
No.
It's like going to Man United. I don't think you go to Man United to genuinely develop your career.
Although Chelsea seem to turn the corner recently, haven't they? They started on the way up. Maybe it's all starting to gel. Maybe spending your whole load on every under-23 talent in Europe's finally going to start paying off.
Let's face it, they're just lucky they've got Cole Palmer. Without Cole Palmer, I'm pretty sure they get relegated this season because he's something else, that boy.
I know he has scored a lot of penalties, but he's second top scorer or something, or joint second top scorer in Prem.
Yeah.
From the Chelsea team that he's been in, especially, has been abysmal for 75% of the season.
You look at the players around him; they're all like top 4 players. I think the only players around him are Haaland, Watkins, and Salah, aren't they?
It could be a nice little transition for you, Adam. But we're on about England team for the Euros. What do you do with Palmer and the Bellingham situation?
This is it. It's the England, the front 3. I think are the toughest ones. I think Bellingham plays. You have to play him as a 10. He's literally the best 10 in the world. You put other people out of position to put Jude Bellingham in the 10. You don't move Jude Bellingham around to fit other people in. That's how you lose games. Palmer is arguably just as good off the right wing as he is through the middle. Maybe not. But would you rather have
as good on wide?
Would you rather have Bellingham as a more deep lying midfielder and Palmer through the middle, or Bellingham in the middle and Palmer out wide?
I think you bench Palmer, to be honest.
I think you bench Palmer as well.
Yeah.
So do you go As
You
a
could
front
do.
four. Oh, go on. Sorry, go on, Ricky.
No, I was just going to say you could do later on in a game if you're chasing it. Then you can push Bellingham back to the deeper role and then put
Yeah.
Palmer in his position. But you want to get Foden's already slightly playing out of position on the left, didn't he? Where he's
Yeah.
mainly a 10. Saka can be like the natural, the winger. But yeah, if you've got Bellingham, you've got one of the best players in the world. You've got to play him in his position.
Yeah.
You can't be like shoehorn it like we put Paul Scholes out on the right wing.
Yeah. Like we played Joe Cole left mid, even though he's a right midfielder for his entire career.
I think
With the England team,
I'm going to say with Bellingham, I won't play him deeper. But I genuinely think that Adam Wharton's got to go next to Rice if we're putting a full 11 out at the moment.
I
think-
don't see who else you put next to him.
Like, don't get me wrong, Mainoo's looked like he's had a decent breakout season, but he doesn't look England 11 standard, I wouldn't have said yet.
What I will say is I was convinced Mainoo was unplayable until I saw Burnley play against him. And he got pocketed by Josh Cullen. He got megsed by Wilson Odobert. Wilson Odobert is not even in the top 50 players for France right now. So you could imagine what Mbappe is doing to him through the middle.
I don't think he's ready for it yet. But I just think that Wharton looks like he has fully cemented himself as a top CDM in the Premier League already.
Because the thing is, who's even in the conversation?
Has Wharton's not made a squad yet, has he?
No.
There's no way that he's calling him up.
I don't think so.
He might go, but he won't play.
Don't matter if he's the best option. Southgate's just not going to do it now, is he?
No, there is legitimately more chance of it being Jordan Henderson than there is.
Adam Wharton.
I don't worry.
I don't think
that is the worry.
I'd like him to, but I don't think he will.
So Adam Wharton is the classic case of thank fuck he's left the rival club, because he's one of those players that like I used to see for Blackburn. Like I've got loads of mates who are Blackburn fans that talk about him every week, and I was so desperate to be able to root for him. I'm so glad he's gone, because he's a sensationally talented footballer. I'm very excited.
When you look at that Palace team, when Eze and Elise are fit, Elise, whatever it is, he's now pivotal to it. Because as much as they score a lot, they can score goals, them two. He can now at least in front of a defence and break up play and transition the ball from back to front rather than it just being try get it to Eze and hope for the best. Like it's a good squad now, I think, when they're all fit.
If Glasner has genuinely got a fit Elise and Eze, Jean-Philippe Mateta looking more like he did when he was in Germany, you've still got Anderson. If he keeps hold of Gay, that Palace team is it could be exciting, you know.
Going to get 49 points next year.
It's going to get 49 points, the top end of the bracket that they're allowed to get to.
Wharton's actually a pretty decent scorer on Sorare, so he hasn't got a card, is he? But
he hasn't got a card yet.
They're actually solid for a DM on Sorare.
Gets really good. And the thing is as well, like he will pick up assists because of how good Eze and Elise are at going past players and scoring from that. They won't be like flashy clip balls over the top. It'll be a 10-yard pass. They take on two players and ping one from 20 yards, and he gets the assist for it.
Yeah, like his last five is 66.4.
Yeah, solid. Again, for a bottom half, not exciting team, it's such a solid set of scores.
Since Glasner's come in, though, he's reverted them to like a back three, isn't he?
Yeah.
So his role in that CDM is pivotal in that team, doing well. Cutting the ball out, making interceptions. Filling in where needs be. So there's no wonder he's a good scorer if they're playing a back three like they are.
So going back to the England team, then I think the problem position is that second deeper lying midfielder, because the other one is obviously Declan Rice, who for the first time in a long time England have got a defensive midfielder who can genuinely carry the ball forward, but who is actually in that conversation next to him?
Do you need two CDMs?
Who else plays there? Do you just play Rice and play Bellingham and someone else?
Yeah, I think that might have been an option if I.
Sorry, go
on. If our defence wasn't like the other main issue in our team, like I don't think you can leave it unprotected without two. So I'd be carrying two. Mainoo actually, when he played for England, he looked a lot better than he does for Man United, probably because the standard of people he was was actually so much better. He looked so silky and good for England when he's playing next to Rice and with Foden and Bellingham. He fit in great, and he does do that like deep lying thing because Rice has sort of shown that like ability to go box to box as well, hasn't he? And like,
Yeah.
so Mainu will sit in and do the sweeping thing. So
If you look at his goal
thankfully
against,
Phillips wrote himself out. That was the
Yeah.
yeah,
main one.
useless
I think
footballer.
I think Henderson has as well. I don't think you can take Henderson
No,
because there's like at least before it was, oh well, he's Liverpool's captain. So like however he plays, he's Liverpool's captain. So I've got an excuse to take him. But you can't take Ali Tifak's best defensive midfielder to the Euros. Do you know what I mean? There's no way to spin that. I could
Yeah.
honestly sit and talk about this England team for ages. But what I am going to do is give a shout out to James Coleman from the chat because he's bought me a Taylor Swift hoodie for the new album release. I'm not a Spotify listener, but this is a Spotify exclusive. So thanks, James. The reason I've broken that up is because I want to play Tenable. So I've got a quiz for you. Aaron, in good conscience, I can't give you this football question. I
Please
just
don't.
on a bad head with a raspy voice, I can't in good conscience give you this question.
Please, pal.
So Ricky, are you aware of the rules of Tenable?
No.
So Tenable, I've got two lists of 10. Well,
Yeah.
I want the top 10. They're both a lot high, a lot more than 10.
Yeah.
You alternate, so you'll go up against Mark for one, Aaron for the other. One's a football question, one's not a football question, and it'll be you answer, Mark answers, you answer until one of you gets two wrong.
Yeah.
So, first question: do you want football or not football?
Let's start non-football.
Oh, we're starting non-football. Aaron, that's you up first. So I've just
Get the embarrassment out of the way early.
I've taken a little bit of inspiration from top 10 chocolate bars. You know, we know that somewhere at some time we've got top 10 crisps coming. So what I have got is, according to the Taste Atlas Awards,
Oof.
I want the top 10 best cuisines in the world. And
Okay,
what I will
okay.
say is that these rankings are based on the best cuisines, dishes, food cities, food products, and ingredients, as well as legendary restaurants.
It's not done on like a poll of people from Oxford, is it?
No, this is a total of 395,000 dish ratings and 115,000 food product ratings.
Okay, because we already know that the Oxfordshire
Yes,
people
they're all idiots.
tasting
Yeah.
music, tasting chocolate is horrendous.
What I will say is that England, so the English cuisine, is 39th on the list. So,
That makes
Ricky,
sense.
I think so. Ricky, do you want to go first or second?
I'd like to go first. I'd like to lead us out the door.
That's exciting. I'm excited.
Okay.
Take it away.
I'm going to go. It's got to be Italian. It's got to be right up there.
Italian is number one.
Yeah, has to be.
Italian is
Pizza,
number
pasta.
one.
Can't go wrong, can you?
Correct. Aaron, over to you.
I'm gonna go Indian.
You somehow do that. You somehow do this every week. It's number 11.
I fucking hate this game.
Yep, number 11, mate. So straight back round to you, Ricky. You've got 2 lives. Aaron's got 1, so it gives you a bit of a.
Okay,
bit
so
of,
on the
bit of
bank
breathing
holiday
space.
Monday feels, if you weren't going to have an Indian, then you're going to go over the road and have a Chinese.
Not sure about over the road. I suppose in terms of where you get your food from,
Yeah,
maybe.
if you're getting if you
not,
take it, not
not geographically.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chinese cuisine is number 5. I think it's abhorrent.
Well.
I think it's abhorrent that Indian is
Yeah.
below Chinese, but
Indian should be higher than Chinese.
Taste Atlas 2023-24 says otherwise.
Indian not being on the list has really thrown me off.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear number 10.
So I mean, and I've got a few in my head now that I'm thinking, but if Indian's not on there, I don't think that's going to be. I'm just going to have to go. I'm going to say Thai.
Oh, I'm having to scroll here, fella.
Oh, fuck off.
Thai cuisine. We've not done this very often. Aaron's out in two. The Thai cuisine is apparently, and I will say somewhat surprisingly, clocked in at number 17.
That's harsh.
Actually,
That's harsh.
below the USA, I will say. Yeah.
That's fucked.
So, Ricky, you've won because you went first.
Excellent.
Congratulations, that's the easiest anybody's ever won a round of tenor ball. I'll run you through your top 10, and Aaron, you can cry about it. Italy, Japan, Greece, Portugal,
Greece?
China. Listen, Greek cuisine is up there.
Yeah.
Halloumi
Yeah,
bangs,
what-
so don't come with that.
Yeah, but not Greek cuisine's nice, but not like the whole. You've got like a few very good things, but not like a whole broad spectrum of it. You've got gyros, and that's it. Not happy with
Souvlaki,
that. Not going with that.
souvlaki, tzatziki,
Tzatziki.
Yeah, tzatziki's nice. To be fair, I'll let
tzatziki. Please tell me you've seen that video of that lad doing like a food review,
go.
and he gets some
He couldn't say
gyros,
it any worse.
and he's
could he?
like, "I've got some gyros with some tzatziki." I've said tzatziki about 15 times in the last 2 weeks. So China at number 5, Indonesian cuisine in at number 6, and I will say big respect for the nasi goreng crew. So and then slightly more conventional, we've got Mexican, French, and Spanish. And then what I will say is I don't know enough about this one to say yes or no. Is Peruvian. I know there are some advocates for Peruvian food out there, I'm sure.
So that's the top 10.
That's the top 10.
Peruvians above Indian. This is bollocks.
Yeah, Peru at 10, India at 11, Brazil at 12,
We need to stop doing
USA
opinionated
16.
lists. We need to start doing factual lists because it's pissing me off at the moment how stupid some of these are.
Scotland, big shout out to the home nations. Scotland in at 47, Northern Ireland in at 96, and then Wales somehow coming above Ghana, which respect the jollof rice is what I'll say. On to the football question. Nah, Welsh cake. Shut up, Mark.
Mexican is a goat there for me, though. Just saying Mexican. Easy.
Yeah, number 7. Big fan of the Mexican
Yeah,
food.
Mexican's my number 1, I think.
Yeah, easy.
So, keeping things multicultural, we talked about the leagues of the world coming to an end and winding down. So, your football question, and Mark, this will be you up first for this one, is I want as many of the top 10 goal scorers in the race for the European Golden Boot.
Okay.
So, obviously, the European Golden Boot being the top goal scorer across all European leagues, top European leagues, that is, and I want you guys to name as many of the top 10 as you can.
Okay. Is it goals they scored in all competitions or just their leagues?
That's a really good question.
Oh.
Let me have a look at a more detailed.
Is it going to be like some Sunday League kid that scored like 79 goals?
So what this says is this page, this is on Transfer Market, by the way, so it's fairly reputable. This page shows the most successful goal scorers of the current season. It only takes into account players playing top division football in a European league. Wait. And it says the coefficient, because there is a coefficient there, is based on the position of the competition in the UEFA 5-year rankings. Okay. What I will say is these are all, I think the first...
You can probably tell if it's cup competitions as well.
Do you know what? I don't... Is it? Maybe it is. It's tough to say.
All right.
It's tough. Let me have a look. Do you know what? No, it's not.
Just league goals?
It's just league.
So no Champions League or anything like that?
No Champions League.
Okay. I mean, my first answer is going to be the same anyway. So Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland is number 4 on the list.
Okay.
I said that like it was wrong, but you are, you're right.
Sip of magic juice. All right. We already mentioned it. I'm going to go that the Premier League's, there's enough goals. They'll have 2 in the top 10. So I'm going to go Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer is number 8.
If Cole Palmer's number 8, I'm going to go Ollie Watkins because I believe they're on the same goals. Maybe.
Ollie Watkins is not on my list.
Oh,
He's number 14.
so they're not on the same amount of goals.
Palmer scored yesterday, didn't
Yeah, it says Palmer's got 21 and Watkins has got 19.
Okay.
Let's stick with the England stacks. Go. Harry Kane's got to be up there, right?
Numero uno.
Yeah.
Top of the list. 36 in 32 apparently he's got in the Bundesliga this year.
he?
Which is, that's what made me double check, Mark, if it was all competitions, but he has apparently got 36 goals in 32 Bundesliga games, which is mental.
That's a shame the defence is shite.
There's a real chance, by the way, that Bayern Munich don't even finish second because they just got beat off Stuttgart, who are third. I think there's 2 points in it now. It's not good. Well, they've got Eric Dyer. What are they expecting?
All right. Kylian Mbappe.
Number 2, 26 in 28.
Jude Bellingham. England stacks all the way.
England stacks all the way. Jude Bellingham in at number 16. Which, by the way, for a midfielder is impressive, yeah. Same as Cole Palmer. It's impressive that they're even in the conversation.
Did you say this is top 5 leagues?
No, it's all top European leagues.
Okay.
What I will say is I don't think there's anyone from a not reputable league in the top 10. So you're both down to one life.
I'm really not. I'm to scratch on some of these.
I think there's one, I think, that even with some thinking, there's a couple of rogue ones, don't get me wrong, but there's one that I wouldn't expect you to get.
Right. So if Cole Palmer's on 21, did you say?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Vinny Jr. I don't know, but I'm guessing he scored more than that.
Well, he has been injured for a long time. Vinny Jr. is apparently, unless I'm blind, not in the top 25.
Fair enough. Yeah,
so
you're right.
To seal the win, Ricky, because Mark did go first, if you can't get one of the top 10, we will go into sudden death.
This is tough.
I think I got 2 names in mind.
Oh, this is always a risk, you see.
I think I know one as well.
2. Maybe
I don't believe that.
Maybe 3. I'm going to go for, if it's all top leagues, not top 5, I'm going to go for ex-championship legend Gyökeres.
Victor Gyökeres is number 9 with 27 in 31.
Well played, sir.
Very well rounded out, yeah. Aaron, do you want to chuck me the one you were thinking?
I'm probably wrong, which I normally am.
Yeah.
Is Alexander Isak not on the same as Palmer?
Alexander Isak is actually number 11, it says.
No, I'm really good at fucking doing that.
Yeah. I'm not even joking either. It says he's got 20 and Cole Palmer's got 21.
I wonder if that's because it goal yesterday then. I knew they were before the game.
It's because he missed that penalty. If Muric hadn't saved that penalty, he wouldn't have embarrassed you then. So I'll run you through your top 10. So obviously number 1 and number 2 you've already said is Kane and Mbappe. Number 3 I tried to give you a slight hint at, saying that Munich got beat off Stuttgart. And if you knew that Stuttgart were going well, you might know about Seru Garassi's goal-scoring exploits this year. Number 4, Erling Haaland. Number 5, another Bundesliga player, Luis Openda of RB Leipzig. Number 6, Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah.
Number 7, the one that I would never have expected you to get, is Vangelis Pavlidis, AZ Alkmaar. Cole Palmer, Victor Gyökeres, and then rounding out your top 10 is Newcastle legend Luke de Jong. Good 10.
He's come a long way.
He has come a long way. Did Siem de Jong also not play for Newcastle?
Yeah.
I remember Siem de Jong. Well, I say play for Newcastle. I'm pretty sure he had a collapsed lung for 2 years while he was at Newcastle. That was good. I enjoyed that, boys. Thank you. I like I like the 10, so thank you for all.
Yeah,
apart from Ricky, I'd say all sufficiently embarrassing yourselves.
I'm very proud. I will add that to my CV in the morning.
Good. So you should. And speaking of embarrassing ourselves, shall we just go straight into Sorare darts?
We can do. We haven't done shocking. But
Okay.
we can't give you the final score of Mike because what I didn't realise is he's picked Onana, which is
Plays
kicking off
tonight.
in 7 minutes time. But what I will say is with his 35 score that he starts on, he will be on 185.4 at the moment. So
Ooh,
if
so
he
he
drops
needs Palace to go
5.4,
mad.
if he drops 5.4, he will get it bang on.
Who else did he pick?
Bruno G, he got a 90.4.
No, he played well. Yeah.
And Isak got a 60 dead on because he's got negative AA.
Not bad.
So he's basically needs
shame that he's
Man U
actually done
to
well.
concede and then not get any
Yeah.
AA for Onana.
Yeah. Fair.
For us,
How do we do?
we went with Corridor, who got a 42.3.
Who?
Corridor.
Corridor.
Oh, you mean Corridor?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I can't do the
So
accent.
I
with the
didn't.
raspy throat.
I couldn't think when you said corridor.
Verma from Chef U, who got 51.6.
Yeah.
And I went with Hani Mukhtar, who got a 70. So we got 164.1.
Hey, listen, that's back to back 160s.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're doing all right.
That's solid.
I'm proud of us, man.
Exactly.
I'm very proud of us.
We were only 0.7 less than the previous score. So
Yeah, lovely.
should we change the rules to 165 and we are really good at this game?
Yeah, I think we're flying. I'm just going to quickly look at next week's fixtures. So, Ricky, rules of Sorare darts. How well informed are you?
Yeah, I am. I'm up to date. You know, was thinking about these while I was mixing my margaritas downstairs.
Nice, good.
Just having a look through the fixtures and trying to come up with a tactic.
Do you want to go first, or do you want us to go first?
Yeah, you want to hear my picks?
Go for it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I double dipped the Premier League this weekend.
Nice.
I went for running the Everton theme, you know, represent the podcast. I've gone for DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, for those that aren't close friends with him. I've gone for like aiming for 3 sets of 60 almost. I've gone DCL. You know, he is about as useful on a pitch as a clothes peg, but Sheffield United might be worse. So I'm going for DCL to play, get a decisive, hit him on the backside and go in, nods it down for someone, scores his 17th chance of the game or something, but has a negative AA. So he's going to get me bang on 60 by getting a decisive, by being utterly shit for the other 89 minutes.
Which he will, because he will miss 15 big chances off Dwight McNeil, because that is the theme of my fucking season.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm going for Edison. Man City going to rock up Craven Cottage. Nice day. He's just essentially going to chill out, you know, take the boat cruise down to the pitch, get in goal, do fuck all for the whole time. 6 passes, maybe a couple of catches, on the way to a clean sheet. Nice, like 61.8. Job done. And then Lucas Fernandez over in the J League. I bought his card and I misplaced the decimal point. I paid 10 times more than anyone's ever paid for his limited. So he owes me. If you ever go on his Sorare data graph,
I'm literally going to have a look right now.
If you go to all time, there's 1 point on limited, miles up, and then everything else, just this line at the bottom where I paid 10 times as much as I was meant to pay for him. So he is going to pay me back this week by rounding out the squads. He's got a tough game at home to Vissel Kobe, so I'm going no decisive for him, but like enough silky samba skills to get his AA high enough to be like high 50s. So I'm going just over 60 for Edison, just under 60 for Lucas Fernandez, DCL bang on 60, total 180.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
I've just gone to the chart and it is.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
That's horrible. Yeah, that's horrible.
So far away from any other dart.
What I will say is that there is actually someone who's right up there with you.
Is there?
It looks like there's one other person.
I've been joined.
That's even close. So yeah, maybe someone else has done a similar sort of thing.
I can reach out to him. Maybe we can talk about our experience together.
Set up a little Lucas Fernandez support group.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So on to us then, boys.
I'll give you mine first because mine's going to be. It could potentially be 100.
So could mine.
You got a Tottenham player by any chance?
No, I haven't got a fucking Tottenham player in our bed.
Well, I've gone with Heung-min Son.
Yeah, he scores a hat trick against every time he plays.
He's
So
going to get an 80 at least.
it's the smartest pick. And what I will say is Tottenham have lost 4 in a row, so they're definitely going to win on Saturday. They're definitely
Get
going
right
to win.
game.
Yeah, the get right game. Everybody's had it this year. I am going to go with the tried and tested, my star boy. We've already said he's going to create 17 big chances for big Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The best left foot in the Premier League, the worst right foot in the Premier League, the most attractive young man that's ever played for Burnley Football Club, Dwight McNeil.
Don't mind it. Don't mind it. We're on 180 at this point, by the way, so I might pick a DMP.
So that proper froze my selection.
It genuinely might need a DMP.
Okay, so I'm going to switch mine out then. So I was going to go for arguably the biggest fixture of the weekend, which is the Old Firm derby on Sunday, Celtic v Rangers, very close at the top. Celtic being at home, I was going to pick a bit of a smasher, and I was going to go Matt O'Reilly for Celtic, but because of your boys' selections, I'm going to go the other side of the coin, and I'm going to pick Todd Cantwell for Rangers.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a terrible choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's horrible.
And his Rangers scoring is like 30 to 45 recently. So
he is properly horrible.
Yeah, away at Celtic as well. I don't expect him to score more than 35. So
good. I like that. I'm excited where we're at there. Very excited.
I think we'll either be really close or bust. I don't actually think we've got any chance of being under it.
No, I don't either.
So we'll see.
But it's exciting. It's nice. It's nice that we're expecting big things. And when Sheffield United win 1-0 and Burnley win 1-0, then we can come back tail between our legs. And I guess we'll see.
Todd Cantwell dies and wins a penalty or something.
Yeah, that is a genuine thing that could happen. More chance than him actually contributing something. Speaking of not contributing anything, Play Sharper's dead. How do we feel about that? Properly kicked the bucket, pulled at, what was it, like 2:00 on deadline day?
Which I have to crack the hooch on that news.
Crack the hooch on that news, yeah.
That was time action, wasn't it?
Yeah, what I will say is if you're trying to force a hand, pulling it at the exact right time is a wise move. But what do you boys, because we've talked a lot about Play Sharper, obviously, from both sides, using it for setting lineups and also being the experts for teams. How do you feel about the news that Play Sharper will no longer be providing Sorare predictions?
Couldn't really care less, to be honest, mate.
No?
In the grand scheme of things, all it's done is show that some people don't actually do any of their own research and they just fucking go off someone else's information and hope for the best. So if you can't listen to a press conference yourself, don't bother. Like, I don't see why people are kicking off so much.
I've said this a couple of times. I think there's too much weight put on these experts because obviously we've talked about it before. I used to do the Burnley lineups, and then when I stopped doing them, it was just like a random lad from the Premier League group. He's not a Burnley fan. He doesn't have any more information than anyone else. So to call him an expert for Burnley is generous. But like even to call me an expert for Burnley is generous because Vincent Kompany this year has notoriously not given anyone any fucking information whatsoever. He's actually gone out of his way to fuck people up because he told us Jordan Bayer would be back for the Luton game and we've not seen him for 3 months. So what am I supposed to do? If he says he's going to be back for a game and he's not back for a game, what can anybody else do with that information? So unless you've got like inside info in the club, you're just a normal person who you're giving your opinion on what you think is going to happen.
Yeah, it's your opinion, and you've probably done a bit more research than a random person.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
You're only going by what you see because no doubt you follow probably reliable media sources and all through Twitter and stuff. That same with me with Liverpool. I follow a couple of reliable sources who seem to get information before other people.
Yeah,
and just being a Liverpool fan, that's how I know who to, a little bit
Who
what's
to
going
actually
on.
look for?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Because you know who's reliable and who's not in terms of sources.
yeah,
I thought Play Sharper was really good in that, and it's always going to have a benefit to playing so rare. Obviously, I was saying to you boys before, I sort of used it as a final check of my lineups really, more than going off it. I would always use Sorare data to use the lineup builder. Obviously, you got to take the lineup predictions on Sorare data on a Tuesday and a Wednesday with a bit of a pinch of salt because no one knows any of the information that early in the game week, not usually anyway. But on the sort of late Thursday and on a Friday, it's always pretty good. And then I just use Play Sharper as a bit of a last minute tool just to flick through and make
DMP
sure,
checker kind of thing.
I haven't missed anything sort of glaringly obvious really. But it's a bit of a shame that it's gone. I've seen a few people on Twitter looking to start up something similar. So
Yeah, there's a fella called, is it Scuds? I think his
yeah.
name's been banded around, the Sports GG guy. He's set up a Discord that, to be fair, over the weekend has got like 1,500, 1,600 people in there, which I think is quite impressive. So I'll be chucking a Burnley lineup on there. I know most people only care about Burnley for next year. But over the summer, I did it last year. I chucked out like who I was expecting to be our best players and what I was expecting from the team.
I
I'll
know.
probably do something again similar.
I know Ballstar from the Ramble, who was on here a couple of weeks ago. He's setting something up, looking to set something up with a few other lads
Yeah.
as well. So keep an eye on
Yeah,
that.
there's definitely going to be stuff out there which is good. Like if you do want Burnley lineups for next season, just look on my Twitter and I'll be chucking them out because it seems every man and his dog's got a fucking Burnley collection for next year. So I thought we'd do shit, so you'll all sell them and then I can win on my own. But here we are. That's just from a selfish perspective. How do you feel about Play Sharper dying, Rick?
Well, I always introduce Johnny in our podcast as Play Sharper Everton expert, so I had to come up with a new intro, which is the main bugbear for me now. I've got to do some thinking, but I always do my lineups really close to deadline because I like to panic and then waste money buying players right before deadline when they're the most expensive, and
Nice,
you
that's
have to
good.
snap
Always
buy
good
them.
fun.
So I like to last minute. So Sorare data lineup builder is usually the most accurate at that point. So unless someone's between 80 and 95%, then I might have gone on Play Sharper to double check why they aren't 100%. As the expert said something on here, but it was a nice tool, but it's not something that's going to end my world.
No.
And I think something else is going to pop up in its place because there's such demand for it. So I don't think it'll be long before there's something else fully fledged in its place. But yeah, I'm Sorare data lineup builder for me because I do it so late on that I panic and they're usually pretty accurate, the last few hours before the deadline.
Yeah.
What I will
You
say
get
as
the
well.
press conferences come out, don't you?
Yeah.
Edison and Ortega this week, wasn't it? Ortega was 100% the whole time, and I did my lineups half hour before they come out, and you could already switch round, so I'd got the most up to date info on there. So yeah,
The Edison and Ortega thing, by the way, got me blocked on Twitter off somebody, but never mind.
Similar thing happened with Van Dijk this week. Klopp came out in his conference on Friday afternoon and said Van Dijk hasn't trained all week. We're hoping that he's going to train today and he's going to be monitored. And in his previous history with Liverpool players, that means that they're fucked. So I think I saw a few people that wasn't sure whether to put Van Dijk in or not, and it turned out he played 90 minutes yesterday. So,
nice, classic.
I know we've said it before, and I don't know if it's because I've kind of got this hungover head on, so I don't care what I'm saying. But there's too many people on Twitter that just spout stupid shit before they actually read into it. So you've got that Discord now, and not everyone has Discord, so you could probably take this number and double it if you needed to. Play Sharper was a free app. You've now got 1,500 in a Discord for lineup. So even if you go off 1,500 Play Sharper users, their excuse was that Sorare wasn't backing them.
Yeah.
You charged a £5 a month. I don't think anyone would question it in any way to get useful information, to avoid DMPs. Most people pay for Sorare data anyway.
It's literally
You're
what I was
already
about to say,
overpaying for pictures of players on his game so you can run a 5-man lineup and stuff. We already know how to waste money. So if you've got 1,500 people on this app, charged a £5 a piece, you've got £7,500 a month. Why do you need Sorare? Why do you need Sorare's backing? So I just think that it will always going to go that way.
I think Play Sharp has been around for a long time now, under like different names and stuff. But Sorare Data have proven that if the tool is useful, people will pay for it. So if you, after 3 years of running a website, can't find a way to make it profitable, even when spamming an ad on every lineup, unclosable adverts that pop up left, right, and centre, like it's on you. Like you shouldn't like it's like Sorare Mega. Nobody should have set Sorare Mega up expecting for backing from Sorare.
No.
You should, if you're going to set something up, it should be under the expectation that
think
you
they're, like-
can manage it.
I did wonder if maybe Sorare pulled like support for third-party things, because there was like the MLB and the NBA things where you could like import lineups in and things like that, and they got stopped and shut down. So I wonder
Yeah.
whether like Sorare have had like this, we're going to stop these third-party, like being nice to them.
Yeah. You said
Use us
something.
or use Sorare Data, who we've got a partnership with. Everything else can fuck off.
You said something similar to that, didn't you, Mark? Like if it had been the case that Sorare had said, like, listen, we'll back you for 2 years, but like it's on you in that time to prove that it's of value. And like the amount of work that is, like, I listened to the Sorare Data podcast last week about the lineup predictors and stuff. It sounds like there's a lot of work going into those consistently to make them more accurate and more effective. So I think
one of the other things was they advertised Ultimate Champs as well. So why is Sorare going to back a platform
a
that is
rival
advertising
platform. Yeah,
probably one of the biggest rivals to them?
yeah,
So
probably the
I
only
just think they've
rival.
lost. Yeah, I just think they've lost their heads. And then I think the uproar was for like a day, and then loads of other people just went, "Oh, in fact, I can actually find out this information just by putting in a little bit extra effort.
Just by
I'm not
Googling
that arsed anymore. Yeah, I'm not that bothered."
I think another issue is like just going back to what you said as about introducing like a membership fee. How many so-called experts do you think contributed to Play Sharper? 100, 200? Is that too much?
Maybe less.
It's probably not even that, because you look at like certain
George-
MLS conferences, it's all one person that does the entire conference.
So if you
George mainly does the championship, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He does
yeah,
all
exactly.
championship stuff.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, George is incredibly knowledgeable about football. What the fuck does he know about Millwall and who's starting for Millwall? He's a Norwich fan, as much as anybody else can do about Huddersfield.
Messaged me more sweet for Huddersfield lineups and stuff, and even I didn't have a fucking clue.
Point I was going to get to though is that like if you was George, for example, who's doing the whole championship, spending hours and hours of your own personal time to put that together, and this platform is bringing in, as you said, as what, like $7.5 a month or whatever it is, via £5 a month memberships just on random numbers. Are you going to sit there and do it for free, knowing that the person that's running it is making that kind of money? You're going to want something out of it, and you probably should get something out of it.
Yeah.
But then, how do you $7.5 doesn't go a long way, does it? If you've got 100 people, different people putting in hours and hours of work to make it work. And then I think,
I agree.
Personally, I think for Play Shop or anything more than a $5 a month, it's probably not worth it, because you're paying £10 a month for Sorare Data, which has way more stuff.
I don't think I'd pay. I wouldn't pay $5 a month for Play Sharper, I don't think.
No, but what got me as well was the amount of people that were tweeting about it kicking off, saying they were like bad mouthing Sorare, going, "This is why Sorare are struggling, because they're not helping the little guy and all this." These are the same people that every week spout out going, "He was 90% on Play Sharper and he didn't play. This expert doesn't know anything." And I'm like, yeah, but now you're fucking crying that he's not here. So what do you want?
Yeah, they're the same people that say, like, why have Sorare spent 500 quid on this when they could have put it into prizes? Like,
yeah,
they're going to say, oh, we spent, we're sponsoring this third party thing. Well, that could have been 4 extra rare prizes this week. Like,
but the same lad that's fucking crying about not winning out with 420 points in one of the hardest divisions on game, but never mind.
That's a good point, actually. I've just seen a great tweet about an hour ago. Ryan Haber put something out saying he put like, was it 389 points the guy would have got? For context, someone tweeted he got a 420 point lineup and was crying that he didn't win a reward. So let me find it quickly.
It's the one saying that, like, in the old divisions, because you only had a 25% captain, this would have actually been 390 points,
with
which
less XP and other stuff
with
as well
less XP,
on top of
which
that.
in Champion, like in Champion Europe, wouldn't have got you a reward.
No. So then Maya
Especially
got a
like,
reply.
oh, you got a reply.
Yeah.
Go on.
And it were I love people who find ways to basically make sure that they are correct, because it does my head in when people just spout shit. And he put, if a runner beats the world record but finishes 6th, does he get anything? No.
No, because he's finished
Because
6th.
just because he's beat
This
the
is
world
it.
record, he hasn't beat the other 5 people in front of him, so he don't get anything.
This is it.
So
If
you
you want to
score
play
500
it,
points, it don't matter if you don't beat the other people
exactly.
in front of you.
If you want to play it against yourself until August, put it in 240. That's your option. That's your only option. Otherwise, it's head to head. And 42 people got bigger scores than 420 points.
And that's all that matters.
I looked, if he'd have put it into Champion Division 1 or 3, he would have won a tier 2 or a tier 3. But the division that he was in had the highest concentration of good scores. So you've picked poorly. That's on you.
In the same weekend, we've had crazy scores because so many teams
This
have
is what
scored 4 or 5 goals.
This is what I said earlier, innit? Let me see if I can find the message that I said, because we've like had a bit of a chat about this in the group chat today. I threw a message in about some of the scores that had happened.
The only thing I will say in support of the lad is that over the past 5 years, I've moaned about 3 times saying Liverpool have got 98 points this season and we finished second to fucking Man City.
Because Man City have got more points.
Yeah. So if it was any other time, if it was any other time and this Man City team wasn't around, we would have won the fucking league 3 years on the bounce or something.
I think Leeds' points total is like one of the highest ever to not get automatic promotion in the Championship.
That's also not true because Sunderland did it in 1999.
Yeah.
So I said, this weekend in Champion, Real Madrid have won with a clean sheet, Chelsea won big with a clean sheet, Arsenal won big with a clean sheet, Man City won 5-1, Liverpool scored 4, Newcastle won 4-1, Dortmund won 5-1, and Leverkusen won 5-1. So 420 is not a good score in the Champion division when those scores are coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what it is, mate. Then you've got to factor in the people who've got like severe stacks who have thrown it out there because they won 3-0.
I saw
like
was
then
it,
you
was
freak.
It Ibar this
Eyeball won 5-0. Yeah.
He scored monster scores.
Yeah,
Someone
monster
like
scores.
500 something, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know Roy Lively, don't you? He's on Spanish beach, pissed up somewhere with his Ibar stack first in his division. So it's first time he's never gone over 500 points off his nut in Spanish beach with his Ibar stack on like 522 points in limited. Crazy.
What an absolute boy.
Yeah.
What a boy. He deserves it for his funny videos that he makes.
Yeah.
One thing I will say,
squad as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was in our Sorare 7 squad.
Part of the team that didn't get to the final.
Yeah, I think we have to look at ourselves for having a beer in between each game. That's.
To be fair, you were good, like consoling. You were a good consoling team when I hobbled off with my torn ACL while you were all having a beer. You're like, oh, fucking hell, you all right, father? I was like, yeah, I'm all right, don't worry.
Yeah, that really put me in the spirit to jog back on and go and goal for the next match. That did, yeah.
What were you going to say, Az?
Well, I'm just doing some maths because.
Oh God, careful!
Crystal Palace are winning.
Are they?
Which means Onana has dropped to a 29.8 at the moment.
So Mike is flying.
He's currently sat on 180.2.
Oh,
so I will keep an eye on it. This will be going out in the morning anyway, so I can tweet whatever he finishes on when the tweet goes live for the podcast in the morning.
Also, I have immediately been proven right because Daniel Munoz has got an assist. This is the description of the goal. Elise with a throw-in. Munoz picks out Elise with a throw-in. He dances past Casemiro before driving towards the United penalty area, reaches the box, works it onto his left and strikes it past Onana. So again, you've got an assist from a fucking throw-in. That Palace team is going to be trouble next year, I think. I'm excited about
If they
it.
don't get eaten up though, right? Elise's got a release clause, right?
Yeah,
60
but
odd million or something.
it'll be more than that as well because it was 60 million last year, and he signed a new contract since. I seen someone saying that it might have been Dwight York that was saying if I'm Man United right now, I'm going to Crystal Palace and I'm chucking 80 million at him and saying I'll have Eze and Elise. You'd be lucky to get one of them
Yeah.
for 80. Like in the current market, if you want Michael Elise and Eberici Eze as a duel, I'll give you a discount. You can have them for 150 million.
Yeah. Why
This
would
is
Man
it.
United need those when they've got Rashford and Anthony? You know,
Hey, listen, I won a Rashford card the other day, so
Mm.
I've got to back him now. I can't have him disrespected. Sorry.
I bought his celebration card. That's aged well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can disrespect him then if you've paid money for him. You
Yeah.
can
I also
disrespect him.
bought Phil Billing celebration rare as well. That's gone
Listen,
poorly as well.
no, again, this is not the place to come for Philip Billings slander because Aaron will back him till he dies.
I
You want
absolutely
to?
love the man.
You were talking about your Lucas Fernandez price stack graph. Even you look at Philip Billings. Aaron's is the one that's way out there ahead of anybody.
I got his original. I got his original 1 of 1,000 when the Prem cards came out, and I think I paid like 35 quid, and his floor is like 49p now or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we go back to those Prem players, I think I paid 92 quid for Ivan Tony's limited at one
If you
point.
can,
Um,
is it going to focus? Yep, there
oh
he is.
yeah, yeah, I love
There he is.
that. Yeah, that is clear away.
My worst one
How
is
much is
Harry
Tony?
Toffolo.
Oh
Harry
yeah, because you got
Toffolo,
you.
a bad one.
That was when he was going to the MLS, wasn't it? When he was linked to go to the MLS, or was that Lewis
No,
O'Brien?
that was Lewis O'Brien. I
Was
got
that
Toffolo, and then
O'Brien?
he got a gambling ban and couldn't play for like 6 months. And I bought his 1 of 1,000 because I ex-Huddersfield player and all that, and I just wasted all the money on him.
Let me see if I can find Ben Mees because I'm pretty sure I paid 35 quid for Ben Mee at one point, and he's currently got a floor of 49p as well.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Fucking terrible. He's what I was gutted he was injured when Brentford came to Burnley because we never got to say goodbye. Oh, do you know what? Mine's not that bad. I paid 34 quid for him, but someone paid, like, there's quite a few people that have paid upwards of 45 quid, so I'll take that.
That's
Not too bad at all.
part of the fun of Sorare, though, isn't it? Getting stuck in a collection hole, like
Oh, yeah.
you know you're doing the wrong thing. You know you're wasting money.
But you do it
You
anyway.
just can't stop yourself.
No, that's
Yeah.
the fun of the game.
Like buying a Napoli stack for the lava cards and every single lineup I've put outside of DMP in it so far.
Looks fucking sexy though, doesn't it? When you
This is
when you
it. This
put
is
on
it.
screen.
This is the problem when they're sexy cards. Is there's always that attraction there.
I'm a full-on
Yeah, I'm currently
avid Rodez fan now.
Well,
Yeah.
they're flying right now, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're in the
doing
playoffs.
you know.
Do you reckon they'll go up?
Nah, I don't want them to.
If they get to the playoff finals, you're going to try and find a way to go.
100%, yeah.
You've got to try and if they get to the playoff final, you've got to find a way to go.
I need to take them up on that offer of me going
Coming
down.
over anytime. You've got to when you do go to a Roders game, you've got to like vlog it for us, and it can be our first not podcast piece of content on the old YouTube channel. Well, boys, we've got to that point on a Monday evening now where I'm starving. So, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about before we call it a day?
Don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
I wanted to ask.
No?
I know you've been suffering with a shoulder injury. Is that right? Did Johnny say that?
It was your arm, wasn't it?
I broke my arm end of last year.
Yeah,
Had surgery at the start of this year.
So Sorare Sevens isn't looking likely.
Yeah, sadly, Sorare Sevens. Yeah, I'm out of football for about another 6 to 8 months. Being a goalie as well,
Yeah,
pretty
your
big
arm
injury.
broken in the middle is quite.
I think was this when because we talked about it on the podcast. Actually, I think so. We said, "Is there a worse injury for a goalkeeper
Snapping your
than
humerus
breaking
in
your
half.
arm?" Yeah, and I said,
Yeah,
Carlo Cudicini when he broke both of his wrists coming off a motorbike was pretty bad.
Yeah, I look like Mr. Tickle led on the pitch. So sadly won't be going, but I think Royal Ivy's going, and a couple of other in our local group chat have got tickets as well. And
Good.
They're still on sale. They're not sold out yet.
No, still on sale. We've
only been up for a couple of days, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's such a great event. I thought they'd be gone by now. If anyone's considering going, it was an absolutely unbelievable day last year. I ended up in Ilkeston Weatherspoons with a Dutch lad who was trying to pay for a round of rare nephews in euros. Kev Indo, the big PSV
Big
guy.
Kevin,
Yeah.
though, what a man.
Yeah,
What a
me,
An
man.
Royal
unbelievable
Ivy,
day.
a couple of the Sorare Thursday Club guys, Kev Indo, we're all in a Weatherspoons in Ilkeston. Yeah, he came over and he said, "Oh, they won't let me pay. They won't let me pay for my drinks." And I went over, "What's the problem?" They went, "They're trying to pay in euros." I was like, "Yeah, not sure Weatherspoons is the multicultural establishment for this." But I said, "I'll get these for you. I'll get these for you. No worries." Tapped my card and said, "What's he bought?" And he bought 8 rare nephews, which
Oh,
is like 80% proof
Christ.
rum in there. So
That was the worst shot I had on my stag do for sure. Was
yeah,
the Ray and Nephews fucking rancid stuff that.
Well, it's on a Sunday this year, so unfortunately
Well,
Ilkeston had a friendly on the Saturday, so they offered it to us to share the pitch with them, like before or after their friendly. But I said no, we want the whole venue to
We're too big
ourselves.
time. We can't be sharing. We're too
So it's
big
on the
time.
Sunday, so I expect we'll head up and maybe have a night out on the Saturday.
Well, I'm local, so I can Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whenever you want it, I can be there.
I think it's
Happy
a
to
2-night
do
job
it.
again, isn't it, Mark? It's a 2-dayer.
It might
Is
have to be
it?
a
Is
few
it
days.
another 2-dayer? There's no way you're
I
coming
think
to
it's a
Ilkeston for
2-dayer.
2 days.
Yeah, we'll come
No,
down Saturday afternoon, get checked
even
in, get sorted out, go out on the
even
piss, and
people in
then
Ilkeston don't want to be in Ilkeston for 2 days.
No. Oh, Sam Ruff and the boys, when we went to Falkirk, they decided fuck this, and they went on a night out in Glasgow. Booked a
Did
taxi.
they?
Yeah,
got
booked a
just got a
taxi to
train,
Glasgow.
got a
So
taxi, sorry, yeah.
I'm half expecting Sam to get to Ilkeston and then book a taxi back to London for a night out. Or
Yeah.
something.
Nottingham's a good night out. To be fair, that's only half an
Yeah.
hour away. It's not too bad.
that's what a few of the lads did last year, didn't they? They got
Yeah.
in a minibus and went to Nottingham.
Yeah.
It's good little night out. Is Nottingham, to be fair. Derby's
Yeah.
shit.
We've done-
Derby's shit.
we've
Don't go
sold
to Derby.
we've sold quite a good amount, haven't we, off the bat, which is nice to see because
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
you
sold
always have to
about
worry at the start.
we sold about over 40% of the tickets so far.
Yeah, and that's not including like any of our tickets, is it? And we've obviously all got tickets and mates that come along, so we'll be well over 50% already, which isn't bad after a couple of days.
No.
Yeah.
So buy them.
Go and get your tickets in, lads, before it's too late.
Get your tickets, indeed. Well, boys, shall we all
Won't
go and
regret
watch the end of not the end, but second half of Crystal Palace versus Man United, and watch Oliver Glasner's tricky red and blues?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go and scout Adam Wharton.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure, Rick. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Rounding out our Sorare Thursday Club. Where can people find you, and where can they find the Thursday Club?
Cheers. I remember when Jesse did this, he couldn't remember a single handle, could he? So I made sure to check in advance. That is poor marketing by him. Doesn't turn up for the shows. Can't remember our Twitter handle either. But yeah,
I say we've rounded out the trio, but we've actually just completed the duo, haven't we? And the straggler.
Yeah,
the straggler
exactly.
came on first.
Exactly. So I'm at the Sorare Mamba on X, I guess it is now.
Twitter
at SR Thursday Club, or you can find us on YouTube under Sorare Thursday Club as well.
All links will be in the description because we're a professional outfit now that do that for people. Outfit. So as M Pen found out last week, because all of his available links were in the description. I think it's actually the first time I remembered, to be honest. So that's nice. You will get your promo. But yeah, thanks for coming on, mate. Always nice to spend time away from family on a bank holiday. So it's been a pleasure. Anything else before we go, boys?
I think so.
No, I'm all good.
No, sweet. Well, in that case, I will speak to you all next week. Thanks again, Rick, and I'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.